curious, just like the genesis of y'all's band. This like this relationship. Like what were those first moments like? Like how did this come about?
Me and Caleb met through like a mutual friend, this drummer friend of mine, and we kind of like made music. He introduced us and was like, "You think y'all would be great collaborators?" And then we wrote that same day.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've kind of like.
And what like time period is this?
I think that was 2015 we
Yeah.
met, and Jeremy was living in LA and came back to Louisiana, and I had a band, and it had just ended, and so we were kind of like, what are we gonna do? And we just sort of like were introduced, and it just blossomed from there.
Yeah, I would say like our relationship as friends like started with music and then blossomed into just like a musical friend type of.
So with that, that makes me think about so Louise Bourgeois. She had this collaborator, an assistant named Jerry Garoboy, and he apparently was just very like integral in just like helping her and supporting her creatively. Like even I think beyond the artwork. And so, how do you feel like y'all support each other creatively? Like, you know, what are some of those things that you all do to support each other?
I would say like being there, and being on time and present. I would say because we've never had a problem with like somebody not being like down or like not like giving sort of their presence. I would say.
Yeah, and I think like we're always all ears when it comes to new music. I know that like I'll not want to share something, or Jeremy will not want to share something, and that'll end up being our favorite thing from each other. Like I think we're just really open with musical explorations. And
Yeah, I think we come from like such like different worlds that a lot of times when like if I have a seed and then Claire and when she has a seed, like I feel like we give a very like a whole nother world to what the other world like has.
yeah.
True. So I guess we're not technically in a museum right now. We're in the museum sculpture garden. But you know, and thinking about that idea of the museum, you know, what is y'all's experience with museums beyond y'all's name? You know, like just like past experience, maybe as a child, or like just like present day. Like, what is that experience with museums like for y'all?
I think I've had one of the most profound experiences in a museum at the Tate. I just like put in my headphones as loud as I could and sort of felt like I was in my own world, like taking in all of this artwork from, like hundreds of years, and just kind of like letting the music inform it and change it and warp it. And I like got ideas for the beginning of this band in that experience, musical ideas and like lyrical ideas. I've always had really positive and like transformative experiences in museums when I just isolate myself away from like chatter and stuff.
Yeah, I think I love the. I remember being younger and being kind of like, this is boring, like when I was a kid. But then as I grew up, like I kind of like the idea of a space that's dedicated to treating art and any sort of object with appreciation. And I don't know, I just went to the museum in Atlanta. I think it's called the MoMA. And that just recently it was like I forgot what the exhibit was, but it was like a super transformative and inspiring museum trip. just, seeing the names that I've been hearing for all these years, like, whoa, this is like a Picasso, like in my face, and yeah. So I like museums.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like too with museums and like often contemporary visual art, like there's this lack of ritual to the experience. Like it's often like, you come into this kind of stale space and like you don't really know where to put your hands and you don't know how long to look at an object on this wall, and it's like just kind of very sometimes like stale experience. And so I think like with music and live performance, there's a ritual nature to it. And so like what are some of y'all's rituals? Like just daily and or like how do you see like this performance kind of bringing some ritual to, an otherwise, often ritual-less experience?
Playing shows, there is like a baked-in ritual. You like show up for sound check, and you have this amount of time, and this is your performance time, and like a lot of our music is a set track that never changes, and in that ritual we like find like little pieces of magic, sort of. When I'm thinking of like rituals in our show, I think of like something that Jeremy plays every single time. If he doesn't play this boom 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 boom, then we like can't play the show.
So funny.
That's the one ritual that stands out for me, that I'm like, okay, when I hear that, I know it's time.
That's so funny. Dang. Yeah, I agree. Like just being on a stage, and like sound checks, I think are like very like very ritualistic for me, because I don't know, it's like a weird calm, because it's like for one time in your life, this is what you're doing, this is what you're trying to accomplish, and and like everybody's sort of a creative person in a room, and so it's like a safety in sound checks. It's like a weird thing. Sometimes shows can be all over the place, but sound checks is always like, all right, we're just all here, we're all creative, we're all vulnerable. With like, the sound guy is like doing his thing, like the lighting person's doing their thing, like we're all like the band, making art and trying to make something great.
Yeah, no, I love that. And yeah, it kind of leads me to think too about like, we're at this spider sculpture, and like conceptually like this idea of like protection that the spider can provide, with the web and everything. And so you mentioned safety like as being something you feel, during sound check. So like what are, in that idea of protection and safety, what are some other safe spaces for you all that you feel like, you have that protection and that safety?
I want to say home, but home is way more complex. I think it's more within, I would say, like being around other artists, honestly. I never, just thinking about it right now, like it feels, especially like when you're like actively, everybody's like being vulnerable and creating, it's almost like you can express yourself the way you want to. And I don't know, I guess since I've just been doing art for most of my life, like I always just feel like, all right, we're all weird, huh? Like we're all like, all right, cool. Like we all together. What'd you think?
Yeah, I would say there are definitely like artists and people that I'm around that make me feel like home and safety. And I've also been like recently finding that like certain scents make me feel like grounded and secure and safe, and been using scent as a way to like find a center in like a lot of chaotic situations.
Oh, interesting.
Dope. No, I love that. I'm like, what's this?
Yeah, I'm about to say,
yeah. Cool. Well, I guess just, before we wrap, just thinking about this performance and this EP, like, you know, what can we expect to see? Like what might we feel? You know, how might we feel safe? You know, with this experience that we're about to witness.
That's a good question. How might we feel safe? We might not.
I think it's gonna be really fun to see this area that looks like this most of the time be kind of like change its tone, and I hope that like makes it easier for other people to envision other spaces changing and like inviting different kind of like sounds and visuals and experiences to happen different places like this. Yeah.
Yeah. I second that. Yeah. Yeah, I think that I don't even know if I can't say safety is the goal. Maybe like inspiration, but hopefully maybe people find safety in inspiration, or like, you know, being in a different situation.
Yeah, they're like wild ideas that maybe they have are propped up by something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Safety in the inspiration and exploration and the unknown. You know, like you said, like
Yes.
being in this space that's like not ever, to my knowledge, ever been activated like this. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Thank y'all for the inspiration.
Yeah.